We're glad you're with us this evening. I'm Terry Brewer.
And I'm Lynn Brooks. 1 week after residents approved Sunday alcohol sales for Tuscaloosa, city officials are taking more steps toward making it official.
That's right. The latest on Sunday alcohol sales is in our top story tonight at 5. By an overwhelming 78%, Tuscaloosa voters approved Sunday alcohol sales. Today, city council members opened provisional ballots and accepted 5 of those votes. All 5 were a yes for Sunday sales. According to the act approved by voters, any business holding a liquor license to sell during the week is eligible to sell from noon until 9:30 p.m. on Sundays. But the city council has the right to regulate any part of that act. Councilman William Tinker says there are still some details to work out.
There have been some discrepancy about whether we're going to allow bars to be open on Sunday, and we're going to talk about that and decide on whether we're going to let that happen or not. But mainly, I think whoever now that has alcohol license would be able to be open for those hours. But the discrepancy was the bars.
The City Council will meet tonight to decide on any provisions they want to place on the new measure. We'll have more on what they decide tonight for you on WVUA News at 10.
On your home team Crime Watch, a Tuscaloosa County father is facing charges in connection with a shooting involving his son. According to Tuscaloosa Metro Homicide Captain Lloyd Baker, the shooting happened this morning at a home on Sam Sutton Road near Mount Olive. Baker tells WVUA 57-year-old Dennis Martin asked his 23-year-old son to take him on an errand. The son refused, and according to Baker, the two began to argue. Baker says that's when Martin got a gun and shot his son, hitting him in the leg. Martin is charged with domestic violence assault and is being held on $75,000 bond in the Tuscaloosa County Jail. A Tuscaloosa County school teenager was arrested after officials say she had a weapon on a school bus. Tonight, the student is charged with disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. Northport Police Lieutenant Carrie Card tells WVUA police got a call around 7:30 this morning saying there was a gun on a bus headed for Collins Riverside Middle School. Northport Police and Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's deputies responded to the scene and confronted a 13-year-old female student. No gun was found, but 2 pocket-sized knives were taken from the girl. Officials say the girl didn't say why she had the knives, but they did say she did not threaten anyone with the weapons. Governor Robert Bentley has announced more budget cuts for education. Across the state, schools will lose 3% of their budgets. The governor says these changes will go into effect immediately and that could mean devastating changes for students in the classroom. Some teachers say they expect losses of resources and simple school supplies like pencils and paper. Others say they're concerned about job security. Tuscaloosa City Schools Financial Officer Ed Levine says federal stimulus money has helped.
We would have had about 100 families associated with the Tuscaloosa City Schools whose breadwinner would not have been working. We would have had kids that would not have had teachers in front of them at the same rate that they have in the past 2 years.
That's tough, trying to be creative and trying to be professional to teach when you are worried about your stability, as an educator in the school.
And from the Tuscaloosa County Schools, Dr. Frank Costanzo, superintendent, tells us his school system is prepared to use money from the federal jobs bill to pay teachers and support staff. But he says fiscal year 2012 will be a completely different story.
Alabama's new legislature kicked off its 2011 session today with Republicans in charge for the first time in 136 years. House Speaker Mike Hubbard and Lieutenant Governor Kay Ivey started the sessions at the same time. Republican leaders have been meeting with Republican Governor Robert Bentley about his budget plans. Bentley will deliver his very first State of the State address tonight at 6:30. He says his speech will present a realistic account of budget shortfalls facing the state, but he will also offer economic help through proposals to create jobs.
In the nation's capital, it's crunch time for Republicans and Democrats to agree on this year's budget and avoid a government shutdown with a looming deadline of Friday. But this afternoon's vote could buy lawmakers some extra time to debate. Reporter Samantha Hayes has the latest.
With a Friday federal government shutdown looming, Republicans and Democrats need to come to an agreement on this year's budget. The House today is expected to approve a budget bill that would prevent the shutdown through mid-March. Some Democrats have called for a month-long extension, while a permanent deal is worked out.
Threatening a government shutdown unless we move forward with their 2-week proposal, you essentially are putting the American people hostage.
House Speaker John Boehner says the Democrats' 4-week plan comes too late.
Well, if there had been a conversation about this 10 days ago or 2 days ago, we might have had something to talk about.
The Obama administration has voiced concern that passing the short-term bills could harm a strong economic recovery. Press Secretary Jay Carney says the White House would support a 4-week extension with more spending cuts than what's on the table today.
The president is committed to making tough choices on spending. He is equally committed to not going down a road in terms of spending cuts that does harm to the economy.
After it makes its way through the House, the Senate will get its chance to review the bill and approve it by Friday. In Washington, I'm Samantha Hayes for WVUA News.
Now, WVUA will bring you the latest information as it becomes available. Officials say the Republican-controlled House is on course to pass the legislation. Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid told reporters he expects the bill to go to the president in the next 48 hours.
For the first time since the deadly oil well explosion in the Gulf of Mexico, the government has approved a permit to drill a new deepwater well off of the Gulf Coast. Next month marks 1 year since the BP oil rig disaster that killed 11 people in the Gulf. It sent millions of gallons of oil into the ocean for nearly 3 months. After that explosion, the Obama administration shut down all drilling. A deepwater ban was lifted in October. That's after regulators were pressured by the oil industry.
Now to the unrest in the Middle East. The future for Libya is uncertain. That's according to Secretary of State Hillary Rodham Clinton. The fight for Libya is now in its 3rd week. Global calls for action are growing louder, but leader Muammar Gaddafi denies protests are even taking place. Clinton says the North African nation could become a peaceful democracy, or it could face protracted civil war.
In your home team Money Watch, hundreds of dollars may be waiting for you from the IRS. Listen to this. Officials say more than $15 million could be owed in refunds. According to the IRS, as many as 17,000 people may be due refunds from taxes paid in 2007, but they haven't received their refunds because they didn't file returns for that year. But there is a 3-year window to receive that refund. To get your tax refund, tax returns must be filed by April 18th. You can get more information at our website. Go to WVUA-TV.com. Click on Numbers and Links. Look under Consumer. On a much lighter topic, light and fluffy, sugary and sweet.
That's right, and they're best when the butter and syrup mingle together and get just the right consistency. We've probably got your taste buds' attention by now.
Yeah. Here's what we're talking about. Pancakes.
Yeah, in case you didn't know. And tonight, you can get a free stack and help out a good cause all at the same time. In honor of National Pancake Day, IHOP is giving away a free short stack. In return, they're asking for a donation to Children's Miracle Network. Last year, they raised more than $2 million.
We hope that everyone comes out and helps our cause. It's a great camp for kids with cancer, and anything we can help them with, we'd like to do that. We're having a great time and a lot of fun.
And you still have time to get out to IHOP and get your free short stack and help out the Children's Miracle Network. The offer goes until 10 o'clock tonight.